Welcome students to our third session on improving reading skills. We have already completed 2 sessions and we have discussed certain points and techniques. We shall now just recollect what we have done in the last 2 sessions. Good reading is reading with understanding. Intensive reading is reading shorter texts in greater details. We have seen also different styles of reading. They are scanning and skimming. While scanning, try to understand the fact, inference, and the structure. Taking all the points that we have discussed till now into consideration, read the passages and apply the techniques. We shall now go further into more details, and before we go into details, we shall now have different sample passages. And these passages will help you to identify new ways in understanding written form of language. So once I repeat again, you have to understand the fact, inference, and the structure of any written form of the language. Remember students, before you go to the reading of any passage, your positive mindset is very important. The sample passages that you are going to see on the screen are from your text Comtech. One is from the lesson 2 students and the other is from the lesson Science and Humanism. Take a few seconds to read silently and later note down the main idea or the ideas of both the passages, and we'll discuss them later. Students, you have already noted down the main idea or the ideas that are given in the 2 passages. Let us see them. What is the idea that the writer wants to convey in the first passage? The idea that is conveyed is very obvious and it is given in simple words. It is, speak the truth and do not tell lies. Hence, the idea that is conveyed in the first sample is that one should be truthful. And now we shall go to the second sample. The idea that is given in the second sample is, education helps man to move from superstition to rationality. And another idea is, there are certain things that cannot be explained by reason. Students, which sample do you find easier? Obviously the first one. It is because the idea that is conveyed in the first sample is in simple words and the writer has given it directly. So it is easy to understand the first sample. Now we go to the second sample. It is a little bit difficult to understand. We shall now identify the reasons or the areas where we find it difficult to understand. Initially, in the second sample, the writer has conveyed his idea indirectly or he implied the meaning. Understanding the meaning that is given indirectly or that has been implied in the passage is called reading between the lines. That means, the writer has a purpose and he has an idea in conveying the message. Once we start reading, we should be in a position to understand what the writer wants to convey. This is called reading between the lines. So, understanding the meaning that is given indirectly is a difficult part. That is the first problem area. And secondly, unless you know the meanings of the words like superstition, rationality, mystery and sprout like that, you cannot understand the meaning of the passage. So, you have to understand the meaning of the difficult words. We shall see now again the problem areas and why the second passage made us feel difficult to understand. The meaning is conveyed indirectly and the passage consists of difficult words for which we do not know the meaning. Hence, for better understanding of any written information, we have to tackle these two problem areas. We have to now discuss these problem areas and how to tackle them step by step. When do we find a word difficult? When we do not know it. That means the word is not familiar and we can call it as unfamiliar word. So, it is the unfamiliar word that stops our smooth flow of reading, and it even obstructs our enjoyment and enjoying the pleasure of reading a particular text or a passage. So that we can deal now in this session how to tackle these difficult words. We can classify these unfamiliar words into two. They are the words in the context and individual words. And words are in the context, we can guess the meaning. If the words are the individual words, we have certain techniques to understand the meaning of it. We shall see now the two types of the difficult words. The two types of the difficult words are unknown words in the context and unknown individual words. We shall see now how to deal with these difficult words. When you come across an unknown word or unfamiliar word, if it is an individual word, refer the dictionary, find the meaning and then place it in the context. If the word is already in the context, then try to guess the meaning of the word. The steps that we have to follow in dealing with the difficult words are: place it in the context. Secondly, guess the meaning of the word. Initially, we shall see now how to deal with the difficult words that are in the context. We have to guess the meaning of the word basing on the context, because we have to understand the words in terms of ideas but not as individual words. So, link the word with previous words or phrases and link the word with succeeding words or phrases. Link the words with previous words or phrases and with succeeding words or phrases so that you can at least understand the meaning vaguely. As an example, look at the sample provided here. Identify the meaning of the underlined word in the sentence. He clutched his heart, bent down, and in a feeble voice asked for a glass of water. Now, try to guess the meaning of the word at different levels. Structurally, the word is placed by the side of a noun, qualifying it. So we can call it as an adjective, and it is telling about a type of voice. What type of voice it could be? Look at the previous verse. He clutched his heart and bent down. That shows he is suffering from pain. Now go to the succeeding words. He asked for a glass of water. Now tell me, he is asking something, suffering from pain, and he is asking for a glass of water. What type of voice he could have? Is it a strong one, or a weak one, or a sweet one? Definitely it is not a strong one, and it is weak. The meaning of the word is weak or low. You had already an example of guessing the difficult word's meaning in a context. Now we shall look for another sample. Read the sentence and find the meaning of the underlined word basing on the techniques that you have dealt till now. Guess the meaning of the word at different levels. Now look at this sample. Subhash, the letter said, would be arrested the moment he returned to India. He was now a marked man. Guess the meaning of the underlined part of the sentence. Remember the clues that are given already? Link this phrase with the previous sentence. The key word to understand the phrase a marked man is arrested. Who would be arrested? It is Subhash. Since Subhash is the man to be arrested, he was a marked man. Therefore, a marked man means a man who is wanted by the authorities. The meaning conveyed in the previous sentence is he will be arrested the moment he returned to India. This is how students, whenever you find a difficult word or a difficult phrase, try to guess the meaning of the word or the phrase from the context. Till now we have seen how to guess an unknown word's meaning in the context. Now we shall go how to tackle with the difficult words that are individual. That means the word is not in any sentence or in the context. When it comes to individual words, it is better to imagine or to recollect the words that sound similar. Try for such words and later split the word into different parts, its root word, prefixes or suffixes. Then guess the meaning of it. Try for words with identical sound. And the second step is split the word and understand. We shall see now an example. Words can be divided, can be split as it is shown in the diagram. The words are television, telescope, telephone and teleconference. When we cut the root word and know the meaning of it, it will be easy to understand the meaning of the remaining part. The word tele means distant and the word vision means to see. In such a way, split the words and try to find the meaning. Split the word into its prefixes, suffixes and root word. Look at the words given here, how the words are split and the meanings are given. Telephone, the meanings can be divided as distant and sound. So it is an instrument that enables to send the sound to a distant place. Telescope, distant instrument, an instrument which enables to see the things or the objects from a distant place. Television, distant see, an electronic device that enables us to see what happens at a distant place. Teleconference, distant meeting. People stay at their own cities and towns, but they discuss, meet and have a congregation through video conferences, as we call it as video conference. Meeting, but people stay at their own places. Look at this sample. Now students, I think you can give the meanings of these words by splitting of these words. Now here in this example, the suffix is cut out. IST, the suffix, shows or tells about a person. You can write the meanings later or find out the meanings of the letter combining these suffixes. Dentist, chemist, artist and psychologist. Dear students, when you cannot identify the meaning either through the context, that means guessing the meaning in the context, or splitting the word into parts, refer the dictionary and note down the meaning of the word. Later, use the word in your own sentence. When you place the word in a context, automatically you get confidence of knowing or learning the meaning of that particular word. Now we have seen different steps how to deal with difficult words. Understanding a difficult word in the context and how to understand an individual word. Here is a task sheet for you. Apply all the techniques that you have seen till now and answer this task sheet. Now check your answers with the key. The first question, one should venerate elders. The answer is B, that is respect. Question number 2, inaudible means that cannot be heard. The answer is B. Question number 3, the audience applauded the efficient performance of the actor. The meaning of applauded is praised. The answer is A. Question number 4. Quadruped is that which has dash legs. The answer is 4, that is C. Question number 5. Anticipate means expect. The answer is C. Another device to understand the written form of the language is carefully following the conjunctions or the connectives. The connectives that are provided in the passage will help a lot the reader in understanding the exact meaning that is conveyed in the passage. Hence, follow carefully the connectives and then try to understand the passage. Now, we shall see a sample here with connectives and how they help us for better understanding. Read the text and try to understand the purpose of the connectives that are provided. We shall now sum up the techniques or the devices that we have discussed in this session. The problem areas that we have identified in understanding a particular passage is understanding the implied meaning and understanding difficult words. The second point that we have discussed is dealing with difficult words. When we deal with the difficult words, we have to place them in the context, guess the meaning of the word, and if we cannot identify the meaning either from the context or from guessing, we can refer the dictionary. It's now time for you students to apply all the techniques and the points that you have understood in this session and attack the text and try to understand any passage in a better way. Thank you. Welcome students to our fourth session on improving reading skills. We have seen in the previous sessions various types of reading and the techniques that you have to follow while reading passages, and the techniques that as students you can follow while reading different types of texts, and examples like intensive reading, scanning and skimming, and dealing with problem areas like difficult words, and also using the technique of following connectives. The points we have dealt till now are intensive reading, scanning, skimming, dealing with difficult words, and use of connectives. All the above discussed points will help you in understanding various types of texts, whether it is English text or your technical textbooks, whether prescribed or not prescribed books. In this session, we are going to see various steps that will help you in answering questions and handling a reading passage in the examination. In the previous sessions, you have attempted different task sheets and you had an experience of reading passages and answering them. All these tests, as you have been doing now, are going on in the screen and you are reading the text and answering them. These tests are called computer-based tests that will be later helpful to you when you appear for tests like TOEFL. We shall now in this session see how you can efficiently handle a reading passage in the examination that you are going to do. In the computer-based test, the time is limited and you may have or may not have to go back again to the text and read the passage. But in your examination, on paper-based test, you have sufficient time to go back once again to the text or the passage and refer your answers or recollect your points. The passages that appear in your examination may be known ones or unknown ones. That means the passages may be from your textbook content or from any other book. The passage may be known or unknown. When you come to the questions may aim at asking factual statements or inferences, in other words, implied meanings. The questions may be of different types like fill in the blanks, multiple choice, or questions asking for one word or sentence answers. The questions aim at fact and inference. The different types of questions are fill in the blanks, multiple choice, questions asking one word or sentence answers. We shall see now various steps for efficient answering of the reading passage in the examination. The step 1 is read the questions and understand. This will help you a lot so that you can understand what the writer is going to say in the passage. Step number 2. Remember the straight and data based questions. This technique will help you to answer the questions while you are reading the passage itself. Step 3. Read the passage carefully. Step 4. Find the answers for the remembered questions. For example, if it is a data-based question, very soon you can write down the number which is the answer of the question or straight away answers. Step 5. Answer the remaining questions with elimination process. This will help you a lot to save the time so that you can answer all the questions that you feel easy, and later stage you can answer the difficult questions. The next step is elimination process. Now read the passage carefully and answer the questions. Check your answers with the key provided here. Question number 1 is a direct question. That is, the oil taken from the ground is unpurified. Question number 2. The answers A and B are not false, but not true according to the passage. Oil may be used for traveling and to run machines, but it is used for many more purposes. Hence, eliminate the answers A and B, and the correct answer is C. Question number 3 requires a statement as an answer. The question is, where do different oils are separated? Different oils are separated in the refinery. Question number 4. Refineries are used to take out crude oil. True or false? The answer is false. Refineries are used to separate different types of oils. Question number 5. The passage deals with. The choices that are provided are taking out crude oil, different uses of crude oil, and the process of refining crude oil. We should follow the elimination technique here. The passage deals with not only the crude oil, not only about different uses of crude oil, it actually tells about the process of refining crude oil. Hence, the elimination process can be applied here. The answer for this question is C. Dear students, the technique here that you have to follow is, initially understand the information or factual information that is given in the passage. Secondly, you go for understanding the implied meaning or the meaning that is given indirectly. Try to understand what is the idea that the writer wants to convey. So, the second step is inference, inferring the meaning. After understanding the implied meaning, eliminate the statements that appear to be true but false according to the passage. In the elimination process, the technique is understand the information, Get the inference and eliminate the statements that appears to be true but false according to the passage. Now students, follow the 5 steps that are given initially and the techniques that are discussed later, and apply all the techniques that you have learned till now on the passage that you are going to see on the screen. Initially, you will see the questions on the screen. Go through the questions in this task sheet 2 before you go to the second sample. Now, read the passage carefully and answer the questions. Now, here are the answers. Check your answers with the key provided here. Question number 1. Love was lost between the 2 brothers. True or false? The answer is false. Question number 2. What are the feelings of Fatik's mother in leaving him? The answer is mixed feelings, both relief and distress. Question number 3. She is dash to see Fatik's joy to leave the home. The answer is distressed. Question number 4. The meaning of the word immense is much. That is the choice C. Question number 5. She was in fear that Makan would be drowned in the river by his brother. That is, the meaning is implied. So the answer is B. Dear students, in all these 4 sessions on improving reading skills, we have seen certain techniques for better understanding of written language. We have seen different styles of reading, different types of reading, and how to deal with problem areas like understanding the implied meaning and dealing with difficult words. And in this session, we have seen various steps and techniques that you can apply while answering the reading passage in the examination. I wish that you apply all these and be good readers. Thank you very much for being with me and participating in all these sessions. Thank you.
Further clarification, contact the Additional Secretary, State Board of Technical Education and Training, 7th floor, BRKR Bhavan, Tank Bund Road, Hyderabad 500063. Fax 040 322 0546.